Okay, so I just watched all 4 episodes of My Hero Academia final season, and here are my thoughts so far. To keep it short and sweet, so far this season is very, very good. I mean, my expectations were high, and this exceeded them still. And you know the season is good because I've been a long time generational Bakugo hater, and I'm not gonna lie, they made Bakugo look cool, they made Bakugo look tough. This most recent fight where he saved All Might and took down All For One, this was Aura, I'm not even gonna lie, this shit was cool as hell. I was looking for every opportunity to hate, but I'm gonna be honest, I couldn't even find one, not gonna lie. 4 episodes also have me really excited for what's gonna be next in like the rest of the final season. The animation for all the fights and the action was amazing, just as I expected in all 4 episodes. My only major gripe was that unnecessary fan service scene in the first episode with the Invisible Girl. I knew this shit was gonna be inevitable, because it's My Hero Academia, and they have a long history of being guilty of this shit. But like, come on, man! Like they literally had no reason to need to add that scene in there at all. I guess like another super small micro issue I have, and this isn't even anything big, because this is just like typical like anime, just whatever. It's just I do feel like the power scaling of like things is like a little bit messed up, because they did definitely buff the fuck out of Bakugo for this fight. Cause like, bruh, how do you go from like almost like dead to like now being strong enough to take down All For One? Like obviously All For One, was like not at full power, and like he already had to go through all that shit with All Might and like other stuff trying to stop him. I understand that, but Bakugo was also like literally like in shambles on the brink of death. So it's kind of like, and considering I don't even think before he was at All Might level. I mean, like they definitely like buffed the shit out of him, and it kind of I feel like messes things kind of, or I'm not gonna say like it messes things up, but it does kind of make things confusing for now, like how who ranks as far as like who's the strongest in like the class, and also just like who's the strongest in like the series as a whole now that they made Bakugo this strong in this fight for All For One. Like I said, it's a cool fight. I'm happy it happens, and I'm like much glad they did this rather than they didn't. It's just something I'm a bit confused about, because even like with that like huge ass like laser explosion they bringing down on All For One was like withstanding that, and like it not really affecting them like that crazy. Yet one of Bakugo's like explosions like hurt All For One a lot more than that whole huge ass like tech laser. Like how, like you saw how huge the explosion was from that laser. Stain was able to see it from like 50 miles away. You're telling me one of Bakugo's explosions was that much stronger than that? Like it's just little bit confusing to me, but like I said, maybe I'm just wrong and this is logical power scaling, but for me it feels like it kind of just threw things a little bit off. But this is like a super niche like micro complaint. I don't want to speak too early and jinx it, but I think if this season keeps up the same momentum that's currently been going out with these first 4 episodes, this has the possibility to be the strongest season in My Hero Academia history. Because everything down to the animation, the writing, the references to like past events in the story, how they've been highlighting different characters, it's just been like flawless, perfect. Like I'm not even trying to glaze, but it's just been like actually very good and surprising. Cause like don't get me wrong, My Hero Academia has always been like a good show, but this season is really like starting to elevate it in my mind of like how I ranked it comparing to like other shows, and how I rank it among like shows that I like and my favorites, and like other shows I liked and how it compares to that. I said I don't want to jinx it, but this is setting my expectations for the future of like the rest of the season very high. I'm talking about animation and fights a lot, but I also just want to touch on like this season hasn't just been doing animation and fights, even though it's been doing that very well. It's also been help fleshing out the story and giving important background to characters and important insights that like help us like I said, understand the story and understand the plot going forward better. This season has been really good at help building like emotion up within you while watching it. The soundtrack has been amazing. My Hero soundtracks have always been amazing, not gonna lie, even since it's like the creation. That's something that's always been really strong with the series. But yeah, that's basically it. Peace.